Welcome to Trade of the Week. I'm Zinati Guma, and up for technical analysis this week, Bidvest, Mondi, Shoprite and Thungela. And joining us with his analysis is Pietropaolo, co-head of trading at Unum Capital. Thank you so much for your time, Rob. It's quite interesting that we're looking at counters in different sectors today. But let's actually start off with Bidvest. So firstly, are you buying into these counters today, or are there some where you are offloading your positions?
Look, I think everybody that's been in the market lately knows it's all been about PGMs. They've shot the lights out, and I think this is a really good time for short-term traders to look for opportunities, stocks that have maybe pulled back a little bit and given you an opportunity. You know, if you're trading on a leveraged basis, you don't want to be stuck in this market at these levels too long. Okay. So I think looking to throw the net a bit wider outside of PGMs, other opportunities, because surely they must be due for a pullback, and we might see a little bit of rotation in the short term. I don't think the bull run in the market's over. Yes. But I'd like to avoid a pullback, and let's see if we can profit from some shorter term trades for the time being.
Okay, yeah, it's very, very interesting. And you are right, those PGMs have run and run and run. I think every about 2 or 3 days, we're seeing very, very sharp gains on those counters. But Bidvest, this is one that I actually haven't, it hasn't been up for analysis in a while. And they call it the bellwether of South Africa's economy, even though it actually outperforms the economy on a constant basis. So just tell me about what you're seeing there. And it's quite interesting actually that you're looking at a pullback, because Bidvest is one of those ones with a lot of investor appetite where when they're buying. So what's been happening there?
Yeah, look, it's a bit of a cheeky trade. I'm really just looking to pick up a little bit of value here. Bidvest has been unloved for quite a while now. You can see the trend has been down for quite a while, but getting rather oversold in the short term. So just an observation that I've made. So if we can just look at the chart, you know, going back for quite a while, we can see there is a support zone. Obviously, that big dip below that green line, that was when the whole market really sold off. Yeah,
was it Liberation Day?
Yeah, so we've managed to, most of the stocks have managed to recover all those losses, but now it's pulled back towards that support level, let's call it. So for me, we can see also it's become rather oversold in the short term, and it's a bit of a preemptive trade for me, but I think it offers really good value at current levels, and we're not looking for too much of a recovery bounce on this one. So what I'm hoping to happen here is to pick up the stock close to 225, 225.50. I know we're trading at around 228, 227.
And is that the support level that
today? That's close enough. It is a bit of an accumulation zone. You can see the stock most of the time gets bought at these levels. And again, we're not looking for too much on this, because a lot of the short-term traders do trade on leverage, so you profit from the smaller moves, and I think that is the zone that we need to be in at the moment. I think we are. The longer term equity type investor might be taking some money off the table across the board on other stocks. So I think looking for those short term bounces is the place to be. So again, I think, you know, picking the stock up at around this 225, 226 level, wouldn't be surprised if it made a little run again back to that 50-day moving average at around 237. And if we just look at what I'm looking for here, it's only a 5% gain. But again, you know, you're trading on leverage, you want tight stops and looking to maximize your profit in the short term. So my first trade of the week is to buy Bidvest as close to 225.50 as possible. We're not looking for a lot. We're looking for a bounce back up to 237. Okay. Which is just the 50-day moving average, and we're going to place our stop loss very tight. It's only 4 Rand from there, so 221.50. That signals a break of that support line. That's where we bail out and admit we were wrong. I doubt that's going to happen though, because it does get bought at these levels very, very often. So I think short-term traders should take a closer look at this one.
So, okay, 225 being that kind of support level, stop loss at about 221, and your, I guess, target at this point, our earliest target is 237. What happens when you get to 237? And what happens if it actually goes down again from 237 when you have reached that kind of short-term goal?
Well, we'd certainly be taking profit at 237.
Yes, okay.
Because I mean, the secret to any short-term trading is to stick to the rules, and that's
Yes.
why we have the rules in place.
Okay.
So we've set the target at 237, and the same works for the stop loss. I mean, if we breach that stop loss, we'll be getting out.
Yes.
So we are only looking for a 5% move on the share price.
Okay.
So. And that's more than enough on a short-term derivative trade.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, only the most successful short-term traders are the ones that stick to the rules. So for this trade, the rules are get out at 237 and see what happens next.
Okay.
And then always never be afraid to admit when you're wrong at 221 and a half.
Okay, all right. Very, very interesting chart that we are seeing there. Well, let's go on to Mondi. This has been also one that has been beaten down actually quite a lot. And it's interesting because when you kind of compare it to SAPI, Mondi is seen as the one that is less cyclical, but actually we've seen it being a victim of the cyclicality of the global economy. So yeah, what are we seeing there? And yeah, is it time for some buying activity to start coming back to the stock?
Yeah, I've been watching Mondi, and I think I've called it on one or two shows before, and it does provide opportunity to trade, especially those sort of 5, 6, 7, 8% moves as we go through the weeks. But also quite a similar setup to the
But I can see the
Bidvest.
volatility there, hey?
So another interesting observation. We've got a support line. And an accumulation zone. You can see how many times that stock has been bought at this level in this accumulation zone, and that zone is sort of between that 275 and 280, 282 level. That's where the stock tends to get bought up a lot. And once again, we're not looking for too much. This is not the time to commit yourself and fall in love with a share.
So you're not trying to be greedy here, no?
Not at all. And again, if we just look, it has become rather oversold, which is also sort of a precursor to maybe some buying that could be imminent. But besides that accumulation zone, if we just look at the last few weeks, there's a consolidation zone. So the price is finding its feet between sort of 280 Rand and 300. And we've seen it bounce up and down between there for the last couple of weeks. So again, this gives me a lot of confidence to try and buy it close to the bottom of this consolidation zone and just sell it near the top of that consolidation zone, and then wait to see if it either breaks below it or through the top of that zone, and then we're obviously looking for higher levels.
So what that's between two...
That zone is between 280 and let's call it 300 Rand.
Okay.
So that's exactly what the plan is on this trade. We're looking to buy it as close to 280 as possible. I think this morning we didn't get a chance, but I'm sure we did. We got quite close yesterday at 283-ish.
Okay.
And again, these charts are based on yesterday's closing prices. So we were much closer yesterday, but any pullback close to 180 I think can be bought. Again, the bottom of that consolidation zone is just below 280. So at 275, I'd be bailing out and waiting to see what happens next. Again, not looking for too much. We're looking for a 7% move here, and that's more than enough for a short-term trade. CFD trade. We're keeping the stop nice and tight, and letting the target be the dictator of our behavior on this trade. So very, very simple. Trading inside that consolidation zone, and not messing around once again with our rules.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's take a look at the leader in grocery retail, and that is Shoprite. And this is one of the stocks that a lot of the time is seen as frothy, priced for perfection, that and Capitec and maybe a number of other stocks. But have we seen pullbacks that could give us opportunity in this stock?
You are 100% correct, because it's the one stock that I'd never know when is a good time to buy. But I think the chart that we have here tells us enough. Again, if you just look at that big spike up earlier on in the year, that was obviously after a trading update or their results, which kind of set the new standard for Shoprite.
I think I read, didn't they pass like 300 or something?
They did.
Yeah.
But before that, we had that spike off the back of well, average, but not too bad results. And then that created yet another accumulation zone. And I've been waiting to see if it tests that accumulation zone. And yes, that it has drifted lower. And I'm very happy to have a punt or accumulate stock here between 265 and 270. Again, the stock has become quite oversold.
Yeah.
So any move up from here could see some momentum carrying it forward. And I wouldn't be Shoprite loves to hug its 200-day moving average over time. And this is a very good opportunity for short-term traders as well. As I said, between 265, if you can pick it up below 270, I think you won't be too far wrong.
Yes, okay.
We're not, again, looking for much. We're looking for about 16 Rand. Just a test of that 200-day moving average. So we want to buy it at around 270, just so we don't miss out.
Okay, target 286.
And I would place a stop loss at 264. So again, very, very tight. Rather take small losses than big ones. They say your first loss is always your best loss. And just a 16 Rand bounce to 286 gives you an 8% gain.
Yeah.
Again, on a short-term trade. We keep saying this is called a trade of the week and not trade of the year. So I'm hoping to be in and out of these trades in the next sort of 7 to 10 days.
It's actually so interesting because I've seen a trend that we're seeing that huge plunge around Liberation Day, and actually quite interesting that we've seen those stocks in that kind of consolidation phase after that, where they haven't actually gone back to the highs that we saw before that. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how they track in the next couple of months, especially as we see what's happening in the tariff landscape. Lastly, let's go into Thungela. This is one of the commodity counters you were talking about, PGMs, earlier on. And actually, I saw Thungela actually joining in that rally as well, having its time in the sun, something that a lot of long-term investors have been waiting for. But of course, today we are not talking about long-term. We are talking about the trade of the week. So what are you seeing there on that coal miner?
Well, I think those long-term investors are going to stay long-term investors because we don't have to think too far back. The stock was at 400 Rand.
Yes.
And now we're taking a nibble at 95 Rand, you know.
Ooh, Rob.
So what caught my eye here, look, it has been, this is one of those we are waiting for a little pullback. Because, well, let's just highlight this. Again, there is a support level, but if we just go back, look how long it's taken for the stock to find a bottom. So a lot of long-term investors are still feeling the pain, and they're going to be holding on to this for a very long time to try and recover what they had lost.
And I mean, at this point, can we also say that it has found a bottom, considering how long it took to even get to these lows?
Well, this is what this slide is showing us now.
Yeah.
So if we just look at that grey square, a couple of days ago, I think that was Thursday, there was a massive spike up on the day. And that's what I've been waiting for.
Okay.
I've been waiting for some serious buying interest in the stock to
I saw it was like 9-10% or something like that.
I needed to be convinced to have a go at the stock because it's been unloved for a very, very long time. And let's be honest, it was probably overpriced for a very long time. Again, we're not looking for fair value here, we're looking for fair profit. So you can see that the stock has become overbought, and that is as a result of that massive spike we saw last week in the share price. So what we really want here is for a little bit of short-term profit taking to happen to give us a chance to get in. So what I'm really looking for here is just a small little pullback, 1 or 2 Rand. I'd be more than comfortable to buy it at 94 Rand for a take profit of around 103, which would be the first resistance level for the stock. I'm pretty sure that it's going to break through that level and make a run for higher levels. But for now, again, we're going to stick to the rules, and I'm happy to take a 9.5 or a 10% gain on the share price in the short term. Volatility, I think, is the name of the game, especially for your mining stocks. So again, sticking to the rules, and I think 103 Rand is very, very doable in the next few days.
Yeah.
And the stop loss quite tight. 3 Rand, 3 Rand 50, then I think we wait for that to meet that bottom again, where we see what happens next and maybe have another go at lower levels where we'd be probably looking to buy it at around 79 to 80 Rand. So This is quite a risky trade, and that's why we're waiting for the stock to come towards us. We're not chasing the price. I wouldn't be buying it above 94.
So wait, where is it now?
Well, the stock currently is at around 95 Rand.
Okay.
So
maybe wait for a slight pullback.
We want a 1.5 to 2% pullback on the price as those guys from last week take a little bit of profit, hopefully.
Okay, yes.
And we'll be buying from them. And hopefully we get that 103 level and just bank a tidy little 9 or 10% profit.
Okay, yeah. I mean, this is quite a lesson in that you're kind of really trying to narrow your losses, but even in that, you're also trying to be careful not to be too greedy on the gains. Make your profits and go home.
Get out.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for that very, very interesting trade of the week, Rob. Really appreciated. That was Unum Capital's Rob Pietropaolo. And that's all for this week's segment, but stay tuned for lots more coming up right here on Business Day TV.